right, well, we're going to get started. Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. Thank you all for coming out today. This is going to be part one of a two-part series on your goal setting. So I don't expect you to have your goals necessarily ready today unless you are were proactive enough to go ahead and do them. And I'm not going to necessarily next week let you guys volunteer to share some of your goals if you'd like, and we'll go over that. I know some of them you want to keep private, obviously, and I'm sure we want to know all your personal goals and stuff, but some of your business stuff we'd love to know. And there's no shame in this, guys, whether your goal is to do 5 deals a year or 5 deals a month or 5 deals a week. It's whatever your goals are. That's wonderful. We all have our goals in life and our goals in business, and I think it's just great to get them out there, and you'll find that you feel some accountability when you share them. But we'll get into that shortly. Again, this is part one of a 2-part series. Tammy had a question before most of you got on here, and I want to go ahead and cover that because it's the 3rd time I've had this question this week in a very similar yet different way. Tammy, please ask your question again.
So if I'm going to list it's actually a piece of land, but if I'm going to list a property for a relative, my sister-in-law, but I don't really want to charge her, and I want to put it in the MLS, I will probably end up handling the contract for her. Do I still do a listing agreement? Or I'm probably going to end up handling the sale for her, because originally I thought it would be like one of those non-representative type situations where you put it in the MLS and let them handle it, but they're not going to really know what they're doing. So I'll probably end up handling it, but I'm not going to charge her.
Okay. So we're talking about protecting ourselves and protecting the brokerage and doing a deal for free for a friend or family member. And what I'd like to discuss with you guys is, sorry, I'm muting some people. Okay, so what I want to discuss with you guys is how to handle this. We do allow you guys to do this. Obviously, a lot of brokerages, if they're getting a percentage of your commission, they don't want you doing this, obviously, because it makes sense that they don't get any money. In a situation like this, you are going to want to do a regular listing. You're putting on MLS, just do a regular listing and put on your listing agreement where it says total compensation. Tammy, what do you offer on the other side?
Probably 2.5%.
Perfect. 2.5% plus 175 or 350 is what you'll put on the top part of total compensation to broker. Okay. Then below, when you put when the seller is authorizing you to split there to give to the cooperating broker, you put the 2.5%. Okay. So that's the way you do that. You handle it like a regular deal, but instead of putting 5 and 2.5 or 6 and 3 or 7 and 3.5, whatever it would normally be, you're going to put just 2.5 total compensation, and put your 175 in there. Obviously, you're not going to do this for a negative,
Right?
But put it on MLS like a regular deal. Now, do you have to disclose that it's your sister-in-law?
Yes.
You don't have to, but you should.
Okay.
I recommend highly that you do over disclose, guys. And who cares? It's your sister-in-law. It's every listing that you have, 50% of them are going to be, or more for some of you, are going to be friends and relatives, right? Do you disclose if it's your best friend? Of course not. But you do, if it's a relative of any kind, go ahead and disclose that. We're all, representing people, even if they weren't our friends before, they are now, right? So we all have loyalties with the seller. Go ahead and disclose that your sister-in-law. So that's the way to handle that, guys, is do it as a regular listing, but on your listing agreement, you do total commission, the same as what you're offering the other broker if you're doing it for free. And yes, you're allowed to do it for free. Okay.
And then on the other side of that, so what if the other person wanted to, just for conversation's sake, what if the other side that you were listing for wanted to handle the deal themselves? Do you tell us to not put it in the MLS for them, or what do you say on that?
If they don't want it in the MLS?
No, they want it in the MLS, but they'll handle everything themselves, and you're just putting in the MLS for them.
They want to negotiate their own contracts, handle all the showings. They want to do all that kind of stuff. The same thing. It doesn't matter how you put it in the MLS. If they're handling it or you're handling it, doesn't matter.
Still do a listing agreement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, still do a listing agreement if you're going to put it on there. There are ways to do a limited services agreement and stuff like that, but I prefer it that way. I also prefer, if you're going to have your name on there, even as a limited service, that you oversee what they're doing. It's muddy water when you're doing. I don't like these.
I mean, I wouldn't do it myself, but I'm just doing it for conversation for the group.
Right. Make sure that you're overseeing what your client's doing. What if your client is under your name discriminating against people or anything like that? You want to make sure that you're in the loop on everything that happens. I would refuse to do it. I would say I'd rather be a part of it.
Oh, one more question. So if I'm listing it for her, are they allowed to put a sign on the property with their phone number, or do I need to put a sign on the property?
And I saw this on saw this one of our Facebook groups a couple of weeks ago. Someone was complaining that another agent had put a sign on their own listing, but all it said was it was a sign from Home Depot, just said for sale and their phone number. That's not compliant. It has to be the broker who has the listing. Their name has to be on the sign. Even if yours isn't, their name has to be on the sign. The brokerage does.
Do we have a sign company in Tampa or over that way?
No. We do get you the details, but yes, you have to have a sign that has, even if I don't care if it's handwritten, it can say Tammy Pipkin, Florida Realty Investments. It can be written by a child with crayons. It just has to have the broker name on it. Okay. Or no sign at all is fine. But if there's a sign, it has to have the broker name on it. It can't be for sale, call Bobby if it's listed. Okay. Any other questions on that before we get started? Nope. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Yes.
Brian.
Yes, Carolina.
So you said that we need to disclose if it's a family member on this, if we are listing it. How about if it's a purchase?
I would do that if it's a direct family member.
Yes.
Then yes. If it's a direct family member, yes, you do that. Say yes, buyer is related to agent.
And where should we disclose that?
In additional terms is fine if you're
Got
on
it.
the buying side.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. And you guys know what to do with if you have personal interest. There's an addendum for that. So if it's your representing yourself, I would put it in additional terms and put the addendum with it. Okay. All right, let's go on with our sales goals. So how many of you guys had sales goals last year? Just a show of hands or yes. How did we do on those? If anybody doesn't mind sharing, how did we do on those? Anybody mind sharing?
I made my goal, but I'm not really sure how I did it, which is terrible.
That's great. That's great. Yes, Malvis.
I didn't have like a sales goal per se. Well, I kind of did, but it just happened. I don't know how to explain it, but I did had a goal that I wanted to be more active in social media. Be more, and nothing too big or too crazy about it, but be more active at posting videos or posting more photos or making myself more present on social media. And I did. I haven't had any actually, as a matter of fact, I got one listing back in August that my client, who is also a friend of mine, he gave me the listing, but he told me that he found me on Facebook. So he was looking that I was putting stuff on Facebook, and that's how he called me.
Okay. And how many hours did you spend on Facebook this year marketing yourself?
Ryan, to be honest, very little, because I don't do much. I'm not very technical person, so all I do is pretty much take photos of like stupid things, like take a photo of my listing, put it on, make some hashtags, or if I go into under contract, make it pretty, put pink on it, and just post a photo. Nothing crazy, just out there.
Okay. And you made a good amount of money from this listing that you got?
Yeah, I made over $5,000.
Okay. So was that worth your time?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
why I want to
let
do
me-
more.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about social media, and we're getting off track here a little bit, but not off track. What you said is perfect. It's exactly what it is. And goal setting doesn't need to be dollars at the end, right? It just needs to be, well, it can be losing weight, gaining weight. It can be whatever it is that you want it to be. Those are all goal setting. And I recommend, we're going to talk about business because we're on a business call, but we're really, all aspects of your life, you can do goal setting. Raising your kids or taking care of your house or whatever it is that you have a goal for. But social media is great, Malvis, and you had a guy directly tell you that he found you on social media. But guys, social media is branding, and there are people who are your friends, and you'll say, yeah, my one of my best friends, she's a top 10 friend of mine. By the way, I rank my friends. I don't know if you guys do, but a top 10 friend of mine. Not exact numbers, but I'll say, yeah, he's a top 10 friend. He's a top 20 friend. So anyway, these friends of yours, they end up listing with you. They know a bunch of other realtors, and they're probably friends with a bunch of other realtors. As you guys know, you can't sling a dead cat around here without hitting a realtor, right? 1 out of every 75 Floridians is a real estate agent. Okay. People know lots of them. Even if you weren't a realtor, you'd probably have 20 of them on your Facebook, right? You probably have 120 because you are a realtor, but you probably would have 20 anyway, right? So you're branding all year round. You're creating credibility, Malvis. Every time you do this, people think of you as Malvis the realtor instead of Malvis the really awesome lady from church or whatever, right? Or the lady from the soccer mom, that we had the kid on the same team, or whatever they think of you as. However they know you, now they're going to know you as Malvis the realtor. Okay, they're going to trust you. People might love you, Malvis, but if they don't trust you that you're an active and producing realtor, they're not going to trust their most valuable asset with you, right? The biggest financial decision they make in their life is the next house they're buying, or the house that when they're going to sell it, and how they're going to sell it, who they're going to use to sell it. Do they trust you, or do they trust Natalie, who's posting 5 times a day about put in a contract, showing houses today, whatever it has to be? And you guys know, are showing houses and putting in contracts necessarily making you money? No, right? You guys are doing a lot of that right now, but they're showing that Natalie, they just assume Natalie's super successful because she's showing houses again. She's writing contracts again. They don't know that it's for the same client for the last month and a half. They just know that she's out showing contracts. She's an active, focused, working real estate agent, right? She's a realtor. That's who Natalie is. When I think of Natalie, I think of a realtor, right? So I don't think of the nice lady that she is, that has 100 other things going on in her life and different ways that they know her. But I think of her as the realtor because that's what she puts on social media. Because as bad as social media can be in our lives, it also is very convincing to people. When they put their perfect lives out there, we all buy into it for some reason, unless we know their deep, dark secrets. So you have got to produce that image on social media, guys. This is a whole different training. But Malvis, what you've been doing has been branding yourself a successful realtor. And who do they want to work with? A successful realtor or somebody who dabbles in it from time to time and has 2 other jobs, right? They might love and respect that person, but they don't trust them as a realtor with their listing or with their purchase. Okay, so what you've done that's masterful, Malvis. That's wonderful, and it's paid off for you a little bit so far. It pays off for you though more than you know, because these people who are your friends who are also contacting you, and they don't mention your social media, that's just you now. Okay, you're just Malvis the realtor. That's what you do. So that's just you now. You're not Malvis the nice lady. I mean, you're still a nice lady, but that's not how they know you. Now they know you as Malvis the realtor. So that's really, really, really awesome. And so congratulations on that, and keep plugging away at it. It is paying off for you, but you actually had somebody tell you. A lot of you guys who aren't telling me about this right now, people have used you because of your social media. People have used you because other agents are out there doing it, right? You guys all have tons of agent friends on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, right? Nod your head if that's true. You have a lot of agent friends, and there are a lot of them doing videos from showings, and oh, what a way to end the year showing this beautiful pool home, right? They didn't sell that pool home, but they were showing it, right? They might have been a New Year's Eve party for all you know, just take a picture of a pool, but they were out. But what do they want to be known as? you know, Bob the realtor, Susie the realtor, right? And so they're out there doing it. You guys should be doing that stuff. Absolutely. And Malvis, when you said I'm doing just stupid things like pictures of my listings and, you know, no, that's brilliant. Nothing stupid about that. That's wonderful. That's exactly what it is that we do. So
But I, you know, what I mean is nothing like fancy, because I'm
no,
not
I understand. No, I understand.
that stuff.
Trust me, when it comes to nothing fancy on social media, I get it. So that's me. So I understand. Yeah, I'm don't know how you did the fancy pink stuff on there. So good for you. That's awesome. So let's talk about anybody else with goals? Anybody else? So it sounds like Malvis, you accidentally got your goal done and you put some effort into being more active on there, which is something you completely controlled. So it was more of a time management and effort management goal, which is awesome. You completely controlled it and you did it. Fantastic. Tammy, sounds like you just did what you always do, but got lucky that you hit your goal or something. I don't know. You hit it accidentally. But we're going to talk about some more focused goal setting. And a year from now, we'll be talking about how you guys hit your goals because you did this and this and this and this. Okay. And so I'm going to do some screen sharing with you here. Anybody have any questions before we go to screen share where I can see all of your faces, because I won't be able to anymore. So I'm going to need some participation from you guys. Speak up when I ask questions, please, because I won't be able to see you. Let's do this. All right. What am I sharing with you guys? Is it a spreadsheet?
No, it says chorus.
Okay, good. Perfect. It's weird that it's on the other screen. Okay. So let's go to SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? So SMART's an acronym, guys. It's not like there's SMART goals and dumb goals. This is a SMART goal. Make your goals specific. What do you want to accomplish and what will you do to achieve this goal? This involves being specific with every part of your SMART goal. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's talk about a specific goal that one of you might have. Anybody pipe up with any goal that one of you might have? It might be a number of sales. It might be a number of income. It might be anything like that.
I want to calendar block my time.
You want to calendar block your time.
That's one of my goals, is to start blocking my time on a calendar to do certain things, you know?
Right. Okay. So what do you know about that goal right now, Tammy?
I don't know. I've got to research it because, I mean, I know you block parts out in your calendar, but I've got to also make sure I can do it.
Okay.
El faro de aquí afuera, el bombillo, parece.
So would you say that your first part of this goal, when we get to it, is that you're going to research it? That would be like step one on your goal. But
Right.
we're going to get to that, actually. Let's get to that. Anybody have any other kind of goal, like a sales goal or anything like that?
I have a dollar amount too
Okay.
that I
Throw
want
it-
to achieve.
I
Yeah.
don't have a dollar amount yet, but I do have a sales goal. I want to sell at least one home every quarter. That's what it will work for me that way.
One a quarter.
At least one.
Okay. All right. So what do you want your goal to be? There's no at least. So make your goal. Do you want to say 1.5 a quarter or 6 for the year? What do you want to say? So one every 2 months, let's say. Is that fair? Is that attainable for you?
It could be. I did it last year.
Okay. Well, I would say it's attainable if you did it last year, right? Okay.
But
So
one every 3 months.
one every 3 months. Okay. All right. So that can be what do you want to accomplish? So specific, that's very specific. Sell at least one house every 3 months, right? Measurable, what data we've used for goal measuring? Make your goal measurable to help you track progress. That's a very measurable goal. It's black and white, right? Achievable, is achieving this goal possible? Making your goal attainable ensures its success. Do you think it's possible, Malvis, that you could sell a house every 3 months?
Yeah, I did more than that last year, but at least I did more than that last year, but at least that's what I will be okay.
Okay.
More, but
Okay.
already working with 2 people for January.
Okay. Why is this goal important? And you don't have to answer that, but you need to answer it on paper to yourself. Making sure your goal is relevant ensures it relates to your other broad and rather ultimate goals. So Malvis, I know a little bit about you, and you've shared on here before. You have another job, and this money helps you with other items that are of personal nature to you, and you need to you need this money for other items, right? And so that's wonderful. So why is that goal important? That's what you'll write right there. Okay. Some of you, maybe you need it to pay your bills. Some of you, you want to take a vacation. Some of you, you want to do something nice for your parents or your children or your anybody, right? You want to do things. You want to go somewhere. You want to travel. You want to do whatever. Time bound. This is guys, these are very simple for us. When does the goal need to be completed? This takes into account the time period the goal needs to be achieved. So all of these things are important. I would also add a reward at the end of this for yourselves. Give yourself something, tell yourselves right now something that you'll do only if you reach your goal, not something you're going to do anyway, right? Only if you reach your goal, right? If it's a weight loss goal, you can't be like, oh, if I hit all this by Thanksgiving, I can pig out at Thanksgiving. That's my favorite. If you're going to pig out at Thanksgiving anyway, that's not really a goal. Okay. It's not a real reward. So do that. Now, the most important thing for you guys, and this is where Tammy will talk about this with your goal as well. The most important thing for you guys is breaking this goal down into working. Guys, if you need to have these goals, and not just one goal, you'll have several goals in all aspects of your life or whatever ones are important to you. It could be a health goal, like your weight or your exercise or whatever your health goal is, your diet, whatever it is. It can be, you need professional goals. You need goals with your family, maybe your children or maybe your children are grown, your grown children, maybe your grandchildren, whatever it is, brothers and sisters, be closer with them or whatever it is. Maybe, and we'll talk about this. So whatever these things are, 4 or 5 aspects of your life that you want to improve or you want to set goals for, and do this for all of them. Okay, but break this down, like Tammy's talking about time management. That's an important thing for her. And of course it relates to her sales goal, which she has in mind also. But Tammy, break this down. Step 1, by January, Tammy, by when do you want to have your calendar blocked?
Probably by like next week.
Okay, so by January, let's say by January 12th, a week from now.
Right.
Okay. You're going to start having calendar blocks. Okay. By January 5th, which is today, by 2 o'clock this afternoon, you need to have researched this, or whatever time you make up.
Yeah.
It might be tonight. Maybe you're busy showing houses, and tonight you'll do it. You'll set aside 2 hours tonight to research to see what goes into it. Then you'll find out, take step 2, which you don't even know step 2 yet because you haven't researched it. So you'll readjust your goals after doing that, maybe, and say, oh my gosh, there's a online calendar with an app that I need to have. Okay. And we need to have that by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Okay. By tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you need to have that. And you may find out after doing research, you can have this done by this weekend. You may find out that you need to do a little bit more research on these apps and see which ones you want to do. So maybe Thursday, you just research apps or whatever it is. Right. And this is a kind of a quick turnaround goal of next week. And it's a small, very attainable goal. It's achievable, attainable. And people probably who have their calendars blocked out, and you envy their time management, right? And you want to get on that same plane. So these are things that's going to be, and that's going to be your reward when you get done with this. Maybe you reward yourself by blocking off some time for yourself. Block off time for a massage or whatever, ice cream, whatever it is you want to go do. Whatever it is that makes you happy. So that's very simple. Now your sales goal, guys, this is where we start talking about, you guys are you hear KPI and all that, key performance indicators and all that stuff. So on a real estate thing, and I'm not life coaching you here. It gets in a little bit of that, but I'm not a life coach. What you guys want to talk about, or to yourselves when you come up with these goals, let's say, Malvis, you want to sell that 4 houses a year, a house every quarter. How many, and a lot of you guys are full-time, and you're going to have, you're going to want to sell a house a week or 2 houses a month or a house a month or whatever it is. What are you doing? How are you going to do it? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. But let's break it down to, what are we going to do today toward our goal? And at some point with these 4 or 5 life goals that you have, you need to ask yourself as you're sitting there scrolling through TikTok for 3 hours a day, you need to ask yourself, is what I'm doing working toward one of my goals? If it isn't, then cut it out of your schedule. And maybe your goal is to, have an hour a day that I just have to do whatever I want to do. And maybe this is your hour a day that you're doing whatever you want to do. But am I working toward my goal right now? Is what I'm doing right this minute working toward my goal? If not, I need to stop and do something that's working toward my goal. Okay. That is how that is how you're going to reach your goals. So what I want to do is say, hey, if I'm going to sell 10 houses a month, okay, let's say 10 houses a month I'm going to sell. All right, I'm just making this up, guys, but 10 houses a month. I need to have X amount of leads per month. So what we do is we work the numbers backwards. How many houses, how many conversions am I having out of my leads? Right? And this breaks down to a whole set of goals, guys. So now I've got to get X amount of, if I'm converting 1 out of 5 leads, or 1 out of 10 leads, or 1 out of 20 leads, whatever it is. So if I'm converting 1 out of 10 leads, I need to have 100 leads that every month, right? To sell 10 houses a month. How am I getting 100 leads? Well, I need to make 1,000 contacts, or I need to do whatever it is. And how many does that break down to a day? Right? So let's make this something like what Malvis's was. I want to do Malvis. How are you getting your leads? Let's do yours. How are you getting your leads?
I'm getting leads from Prime Street.
I see that you get a lot of leads from Prime Street. Guys, if you're not doing Prime Street, let me know that you want to. Malvis is getting tons of leads. And you're getting leads.
As a matter of fact, I have already appointments for Monday with one that is coming out of state. Okay. And I have made appointments with new construction in St. Cloud for them. And the other one, we're going to meet this Saturday.
Fantastic.
The question, like the financial, because a lot of these leads are browsers. But like I explained in one of my other meetings, I have learned how to scan them per se, and learn if they're really ready. Because if they're not ready, meaning they don't have good credit score, or they are not financially prepared. If they have zero money, they're not going nowhere. They're not going to buy a house. So right. Once I start developing that relationship and cultivating them, and I get for them to answer those questions and feel comfortable telling me that information, then I know if I can continue to work with them.
Okay. Well, guys, don't be shy. People coming from out of state typically, right now, they're people from out of state are buying, aren't they? Like crazy. So don't be afraid, Malvis. Use your buyer brokerage agreement when they come. Tell them your broker makes you do it. Get your buyer brokerage agreement. All right.
I gotta learn to do that.
Yes, you do, and it only takes being burnt, and that should be a lot of you guys' goals out there. And a lot of you got burnt this past year with it. They look at 20 houses with you, and you write 5 offers for them, and then Malvis, thank you so much for your time. You were very sweet. I feel terrible. We found something on our own, that's not true. They found it through Tammy, but they tell you they found it on their own, right? So, all right, moving on. So Malvis, so that's how you're getting leads through that. So you need to take X amount of leads per week, per month, per year, and it breaks down to per day, right? Or if you're actually, if those of you are actually cultivating leads, you need to work on them every day and break it down to a daily or a weekly thing and say, I'm going to work on these every day or every week, whatever it is.
That's why you have to time block.
That's why you have to time block. It's absolutely right. So that all relates to this stuff, but absolutely right, because you're not going to do it if you keep putting it off, and then you go get coffee, and then you run into a friend, and I forgot to pick something up at Publix. And then, you guys know, and your day goes by, and I've got a showing at 1. So now I can't really do it today. I can't make phone calls today right? So your time just goes away if you don't time block, and you don't get up when the alarm goes off and actually do what you're supposed to be doing. So what I'm saying, guys, is break these goals down to a daily thing. Anyone can set goals, but not everyone does what is necessary to achieve them. So what I want you to do is that. I'm going to go to boost customer lifetime value. Just some ideas for goals from you guys. Now is a great time to do what, guys? Remind everyone of all your sales from last year of their homestead exemption, right? They need to go file for it. So have them do that. I just bought this place, and so I'm going to be doing that. But now's a great time to remind them, get in their ear, let them know, you know, if you guys have friends or family wanting to come to the area, let me know. Interest rates are about to go up. This is the time to do it, right? And let them know all that stuff. Check in with them. Guys, boost customer lifetime. Are you guys seeing this boost customer lifetime value that I'm on right now? Can you read that, or is it too small? Is it too small?
It's
Is that
good.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have worked hard. You guys have either bought leads or cultivated leads to get the clients that you've had. Work with them to get more referrals from them, and be sure to maintain your relationship with them as their realtor, right? Less than 30% of buyers 3 years after buying, less than 30% even remember their agent's name. That is terrible. It's embarrassing for our industry, and don't let it happen to you. This is the best way to build. You guys that are buying leads, you want to get off of the buying leads, and by the time and that's one of your long-term goals too, by the time you're 40, 50, 60, I don't know how old you are now, but whatever however long you've been in the business, I've been in the business 10 years, 15 years, I want to stop buying leads. Well, this is how you do it. You become an awesome follow-up realtor. Those of you who says, you know what, this buyer agent stuff is for the birds. This is a lot of work, and it's, you know, I'm showing so many houses, right? So many contracts. It's so frustrating. And I want to do listings. This is how you do listings, guys. You help them buy the house, and then you're their realtor. And so when it's time to list, you've been in their ear every couple of months. They know the first call is to you, right? That's how you become a listing agent. Almost everybody, one of you guys, you know, you can buy all the quote unquote listing leads you want, but people are going to list their house with people they're comfortable with, people they trust. Malvis, the branding that you've done is going to help you get listings, because they want to work with somebody they know is an active realtor who's doing great and always out there doing something. So post these
I hope
things.
so.
Yeah, well, there's no hope so to it. I promise you, that's how it's done. And I can tell you, we have some very successful agents who are buying absolutely no leads, and they're working off referrals, and they're working off repeat customers, right? Lots of referrals. Oh, my
Yes,
friend
right.
said, right? So my friend says that you're an awesome realtor. Hey, Tammy, have you had referrals come back to you, people who said, oh, you sold my brother Kenny's house, and I wanted to talk to you about, you've had that, right?
Yeah, and I a couple of years ago had one of those closet design people come to my house, and she was sitting at my dining room table designing what I wanted. And while she was doing that, it was the beginning of the year, I was calling all my past clients from last year, asking them if they had applied for their homestead exemption, and just reminding them to do that. And I got off the phone, and she was like, I have never, ever heard of a realtor calling all their past clients and telling them to apply for homestead. You know, she was actually fairly impressed. So I do that every year, because it gives you a chance to touch base with them.
Tammy, what do people think about a realtor or anyone who sells them something and they never hear from them after they get paid?
They're only concerned probably about the money or
Correct.
the
What do
current
people
deal.
think about realtors in general?
Yeah, that
We're
probably
in it
not
for the
very
money,
good.
right?
Right.
We're just in it for the money. And frankly, all we have is an MLS. Otherwise, a monkey could do what we do, right? Because they don't see the stuff that we do. And which is another training on educating your clients. And yeah, so when you call them and remind them about homestead exemption, which either remind them or teach them completely about it, right? They think Tammy actually cares about us, right? And the fact that they say, well, this is our 10th house we bought and nobody's ever done this, means, first of all, nobody ever listens to my training. And second of all, it means people didn't care enough to do it. They don't care enough to follow up. And this is, guys, there are so many of you, and not you in this room, but you in general as realtors, who just coast through life. don't do the things they know they should do. And then, and it's just a cycle. And at the end of the year, they didn't hit any of their goals. And by God, I'm going to do it next year, but they didn't do it this year, and they're not going to do it next year because they don't take the steps to do it. Write down to yourself right now to call last year's clients and remind them about homeowners.
Homestead.
Homestead, sorry. Homestead. Homestead exemption. Remind them to file that. When's the deadline for that?
Usually March 1st, I believe. Yeah.
I think it still is. But I know what it's not. It's not January 6th. So they're still fine. So call them and have them do it. Okay. All of you reach out to your clients. I would do it now because then I can also do it on February 25th just to check in and make sure they did it. Right? Guys, you want every possible thing. And hopefully their birthdays after February 25th. So you can call them again on April 3rd or July 12th and tell them happy birthday and check with them and see. And hopefully you got their husband or wife's birthday too, or their kid's birthday. Hopefully you've tracked all that stuff. So you can call and tell them or send them a card or whatever. I'm telling you guys, and I've done this, I've used this example before with my sister in her car. She always had Hondas. And she wanted me to accompany her to the dealership, but she was going to go see the same guy every single time. Why? Because she's bought 7 cars from this guy. Why? Because he sends her stuff all the time on her birthday and everything else. She feels obligated to him, and she's going to get the same deal anywhere she goes, right? Does that sound pretty similar to a realtor? She's going to get the same deal pretty much anywhere she goes, right? And she goes to the same guy, Corey, every year at the Honda dealership because, or not every year, every time she buys a car, because he follows up with her every birthday, every Christmas, he sends her a card, whatever. She feels like she owes it to him. Why would she just go in there and see who goes and helps her, right? She's even stayed loyal to Honda because of him, right? So guys, this stuff works and it's cheap. And that guy probably makes a couple of grand every couple of years off of her because he sends her cards. Right? Is that a good use of his time and effort? Absolutely. Right? He probably doesn't even pay for it. So that's how following up with your clients works. And that's why you do it. Just the little things like that, but use these things to do that and make that part of your goals. If you don't hit your goals on retaining customers or getting referrals, and you say part of your goals might be Malvis, you've been in the business long enough where, people buy and sell, people move every 5 to 7 years, which means they're buying and selling a house every 5 to 7 years, which means if you've been in this business 5 to 7 years, you should start having repeat clients if you're doing this stuff. Right?
Actually,
On average.
Yes, I have one investor that this is the 3rd property. He just bought the 3rd property from me 2 months ago.
Right. Wonderful. And he'll keep doing it as long as you keep doing a great job for him, following up with him, checking on him. Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, or happy holidays, whatever it is, happy New Year, happy whatever, right? And if they're from China, learn when the Chinese New Year is and tell them Happy New Year on that date, right? So guys, get to know your clients, think about what they would like to hear from you. Even if they wouldn't like to hear from you, just think about ways to touch them where you don't come off as a super over the top salesperson, which is easy to do, guys. There's something every couple of months. You don't need to tell them Happy Valentine's Day. That's a little creepy, but whatever, they've got something coming up, right? You're going to contact them in late February to remind them. Contact them now about homestead exemption, and contact them again in late February just to remind you, following up with you guys, making sure you did it. By the way, interest rates just went up 1/4 of a point. They're going to keep going up, guys. I'm afraid. I hope not, but with this inflation, whatever, right? Read an article, share the article.
Actually, my lender just sat in on a meeting and they're going to have 3. They told her they're having 3 rate increases this year.
I read that same thing on Twitter or something. I saw that. Yeah. That's what they suggest. Now, be careful giving this as fact because nobody knows for sure, and
right.
You're not a prognosticator of it. Not because it's certainly within your licensing limits to give an opinion on that, but you don't want to look like an idiot. So when it doesn't happen, but say this is what they're telling us, right? That's perfectly fine. So what does that mean when interest rates are going up? Is it a good time to buy or a good time to sell?
Both.
Both. Great answer. Same thing when they're going down. Guys, Interest rates are about to go up. It's a great time to buy before they go up, right? Before they go up too high. It is also a great time to sell because I can get more for my house right now while buyers can afford more payment, right? So if it's a good time to buy, it's going to be more buyers out there because rates are going up. It's also a good time to sell. There's going to be a rush on buying because everybody's afraid rates are going to go up. That means it's a great time to put my house out there where I'm going to get more buyers and at a higher price because that $2,500 payment is going to go, or $3,000 or $4,500 payment, whatever it is going to allow them to buy more house with lower interest rates, right? So now's a good time to sell too. So just guys, contact these people, have some content to share with them. And I'm going back on this, have some content to share with them and reach out to them. This is the guys, great stuff on the thing. I appreciate some of you sharing your goals. Guys, write them down to yourself. They don't have to be in the chat, but I love seeing them in there, but write them down, work toward them every day. There are people who write their goals in lipstick on their mirror in their bathroom. So they think about them every single day, right? That's brilliant. That is brilliant stuff to do every single day. You wake up in the morning, you're groggy, you go in to brush your teeth and you see your goal there and it motivates you. Do that, guys.
Ryan, I have a question.
Yes.
So Ryan, like in my friends, I mean, they all know that I'm a realtor, but they all have another realtor in their other friends of group and they use them. So I wanted to ask you where you buy the leads or where you can look for the leads, since the friends that you know and you trust, they don't do the business with you.
Well, Rishi, I'll say you're a fairly new agent and you're going to have to build up some credibility with your friends and family, right?
Okay.
Even your family. I said family, even your family, you have to build up some trust with them. This is like I said, this is the biggest decision they ever make. Do not be offended if you're a new agent and your friends are using a different realtor. It hurts when you see on Facebook your friends sitting there with Tammy and everybody's smiling about our new house today, right? It hurts, but you have to realize you haven't come across as a professional and successful agent yet, and you need to do that. It is absolutely necessary. And do not lie or misrepresent what you're doing, but Reshu, you're showing houses. I know you've got a listing coming up. You're doing all this stuff. Get out there with the pictures and all that stuff. Put your sign in front of that listing and put that as your cover photo on your Facebook. Not your profile, but your cover photo. And your profile should be a nice picture, like you see some of the folks on here have nice headshots as their Zoom faces. But get a nice professional headshot like that and let that be your picture on Facebook, your profile picture. You've got plenty of things you can do to build things. It does take a little bit of time, but talk about real estate on there. Guys, this is not supposed to be social media training, but I'm gonna do this real quickly. Get your business page set up on social media. It's free on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And Emily can help you guys with that if you need it. Right, Emily, give me a nod. Awesome. She can help you guys with that if you need it. She'll do that. And then from that business page, you're going to post content. Interest rates are going up. Orlando's a #2 city in America for investment properties, whatever it is rents are going up, whatever's happening, right? You guys are going to post that content on your business page. And then once or twice a week, I want you to share that to your personal page. So people who are your actual friends are going to see that, hey, most importantly, that you have a business page and that, oh, that's what Daryl's doing. I haven't seen Daryl since high school. Is that what he's doing? That's fantastic. Yeah, that's like 10 years right there. Haven't seen Daryl since high school. That's what he's doing. That's awesome. Oh, look, and he actually knows what he's talking about. He's talking about interest rates and stuff. He's a professional. Look at that guy, right? He looks professional. He's actually done business. There's his sign in a yard. There's, whatever it is. He looks great. So these are the things that we want people to see about us so they trust us and know us as a realtor and they think of us when it comes time to do that. You guys, none of you have referred anyone to my roofing business. And I've seen people ask for roofers on Facebook and none of you guys have referred people to Ryan's Roofing. And do you guys want to know why? Because you didn't know it existed. It doesn't exist, but you didn't know it existed. So you're not referring people to my roofing company, right? Because you don't know it exists. Because I don't have a business page. I'm not linking roofing news to everyone, right? I'm not leaking it. Did you get that? I didn't. So no pun intended, right? So I'm not promoting my roofing company. So how is anybody supposed to know I'm a roofer? I'm a secret roofer. You know, what is that? Again, I'm not a roofer. So that's the kind of thing you need to get out there, though. I guarantee you, if I had a roofing company, I would have a business page and I would be talking about it, and I'd be linking it to my personal page for my thousands of Facebook friends, and none of them helped me move. So I don't know how good of friends they are, but you leak it to all of these people and let them see that, and they might not be interested at all. So now you're not coming off. I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, I don't want to be, super salesman with my Facebook friends. That's not super salesy. You're sharing from your business page. You're also going to I want you to put pictures on there with your kids and grandkids and friends and all this stuff that you do also, even if you don't want to. Dude, guys, go look at my page. The only thing I put on there is my son when he has a birthday or something. I don't do a lot of it, though. I would if I were a realtor, though. I would be sharing more stuff, and it would be nonsensical stuff like I do. I don't share any real opinions or anything that's really close to my heart. I only share, photos with friends or my kid. It doesn't have to be anything real personal. But then if I were a realtor, I would be sharing from my business page to my personal page. Look, guys, I'm a realtor. Come work with me, right? Look, guys, interest rates are going up. Now's the time. Look, guys, rents are going up. Might as well buy. Interest rates are still down, right? They're still at not historic lows because they've just gone up a little bit, but they're real near historic lows. So get out there and do something. All right. I've got more stuff in the chat I'm trying to get to. Okay, we'll discuss that on there. What is Emily's email? Guys, she's Emily at flarealtyinvestments.com. Edul asked me that directly. Sorry. Emily at just how you spelled it, Edul, EMILY at flarealtyinvestments.com. It's the same as mine. Emily, do you mind putting your email in the chat, please? A goal without a precise date is a dream. Absolutely. And that is the time, is the T in SMART, is the time related. It has to be end at a certain date to hit it. And guys, you need to do the reward. Prime Street. What is Prime Street? Prime Street, if you guys have worked with OpCity, Prime Street is similar, only it's from homes.com, and they don't do land. They don't do anything under 100,000, which will be music to your ears if you've worked with OpCity. And please don't give up on OpCity. We're still doing a lot of business with them too. Thank you, Emily. We're still doing a lot of business with them too, but Prime Street is awesome, guys. You don't get as many necessarily. Those of you who are on OpCity and who have are top producers or whatever, they've got you in that category. You've been able to limit your zip codes and price ranges and stuff like that. Prime Street doesn't have that, but they don't give anything under 100 grand. And they don't do rentals, and they don't do raw land. So you'll get leads though that Malvis can tell you. I see her name on there all the time, and some of you other ones as well. I think Gina, I don't know, Gina, if you're paying attention, if you get a bunch of them, Lori, who does? Gina, you paying attention?
Yes.
You get a bunch of these, right?
Here and there.
Okay, is it you or how many? When you say here or there, how many you get?
Maybe like 1 or 2 a month.
Okay, but those are decent leads.
Yeah, sometimes they're not pre-approved, but they're pretty open to getting pre-approved. So I set them up with a lender and get the ball rolling. Okay.
They are better in. I mean, there are some good OpCity leads. Obviously, a lot of you guys have done business with OpCity, and they do great. That's why we keep working with them. But to answer that
quick question about my the question that I emailed you the other day. That was one of my really main goals for the year.
I did not email you back.
Yeah, you did. It was about reviews.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, is there any specific wording or anything that you recommend about the gift card? Because I just get really, I don't know why, but I've always had a stigma that isn't allowed.
It is, but you can't make it, you can't make it, you can't make it contingent. But you can send it and say, sure, would love it. Are you, I'll check on the legality of making contingent. I thought you were giving gift cards and saying, give me a review. So I'll check the legality of making it contingent on the review.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check on the legality of that.
Okay, thanks.
Is that working?
I haven't done it yet, but I want to. I was trying to think of ways to get reviews from, 4 or 5 years ago, just like ones that I missed. So I asked Ryan can I offer a gift card, like, help me with reviews for $10 gift card or something to Starbucks or.
I don't know why that wouldn't be legal. We used to do it for tenants to help us show properties for investment properties that the owners were selling.
Yeah, but aren't you saying that they won't get the gift card until they actually do the review, correct?
Yeah, she's buying reviews.
Right.
I mean, they can be bad. They can write a bad review. I don't tell them.
Right. And they have to be actual customers. I don't see why I mean, you're not going on the street and saying, hey, get on your phone and give me a review at 7-Eleven, for $10. So, so I don't see any reason that wouldn't be, but I'd rather check it out first.
Okay.
I thought you were sending them after or sending it to them regardless. But I honestly think it's fine. So we were doing it with people just to do showings for tenants to cooperate with showings. We were giving them little gift cards for being such good showers. And to me, that's almost more suspicious because they feel like then they have to say nice things about the unit when I really just want them to get out during the showing. So anyway,
what is the split on the Prime Street?
it is about the same, 30-35%. And no, Lisa, you don't pay with them. You don't pay for them up front. It's just like upsetting. You don't pay for them up front. You pay for them only if you close. You do have to go onto your portal and keep them updated about what's going on. Guys, this is perfectly normal. If I were buying you leads and giving them out to you and charging you 35%, I'd want to know that you were working them and that you would talk to them, and I'd want you to keep me updated. So it makes sense. Please do it. A lot of you guys get kicked off of Obsidian and different stuff because you refuse to go on there and update it, mostly because you're lazy. Not all of you, just the ones I'm talking to. So yes, ask for guys, if you ask your clients for reviews at the closing, they're never happier than when they just signed the paperwork or just got their check or just got their keys. They're never going to be happier than when they just got their wire or they're sitting there waiting on it to come through their wire. That's when they're the happiest. That's the best time to do that. Okay. And I really like the idea of handing them a gift card right then, or guys, drop off their closing present. If you got buyers, drop off their closing present. That's another good touch with these people. It's another good way to touch them. And are they ever happier with you than when you're dropping off their present, right? It's good stuff. Have them do that. That's what I recommend. Any other questions or comments? And guys, we're gonna do over your goals. Please, that's your homework for next week. Please don't not show up because we'll probably have 4 people in here next week. That's your assignment for next week, guys. Come up with some goals. Come up with personal goals, work goals, whatever it is. Stuff, please have some of you. I'd like for you to share some of the stuff so we can go through them. And I know some of them will be private, and that's perfectly fine, and it's preferred actually, some of them. But we'd like to go over some stuff next week. That's your homework. So let's do it, guys. Don't be shy about it. Timid salespeople have skinny kids. Just remember that. And you're going to have skinny vacations and skinny everything. You're going to be going to Daytona Beach to take a timeshare tour for a vacation. If your goal is to have a nice vacation, you're going to get that $99 and you get to sit down with Bobby for a 3-hour, 60-minute tour on half your vacation there. So we all know how that works. So guys, hit your goals. If you want to go to Italy or you want to go to wherever you want to go, You want to take that fancy cruise or do whatever it is, hit your goals. And if you want to hit your goals, work toward them every day. Is what you're doing this afternoon, whatever your little plans are this afternoon, is what they are working toward one of your goals. And you don't know right now because you don't know what your goals are. So get out there, make them measurable, and perform, guys. The most important thing of all this: specific, measurable, achievement, relevant, and time-based. The most important thing is getting off your butts and doing it. Doing the things that are necessary. So first you find out what's necessary. Like Tammy, you're going to this afternoon, you're going to research the calendar blocking. You're going to find out what's necessary. Then you're going to break it down into what you're going to do it. I think that's going to be a really quick and easy goal for you. You need to, but you have your sales goal, you said. What do you need to do to hit that? How many contacts do you need to make with people per day and all that? And that'll come when you're setting your calendar, you're blocking your calendar. And guys, I highly recommend that for all of you. It sounds really nerdy that Tammy's going to be blocking her calendar, but Tammy's going to be hitting her goals. Tammy crushes it, guys. Tammy's going to be hitting her goals because she's going to block her calendar, and she's going to do the things necessary every day, every week to hit her goals. She's going to know when she breaks down her numbers. Tammy, you need to know, you guys all need to know what your KPIs are. And a lot of you are probably just learning that term. Key performance indicators. You need to know how many of your leads are turning into sales for you. How many of your leads are turning into pre-quals? How many leads are turning into showings? How many of your showings are turning into sales? You need to know all this stuff. How many of your listing appointments are you converting? How many leads does it take to get a listing appointment? How many contacts with your former buyers is it taking to get referrals? And then do it. Get some idea of your numbers and do it. And maybe 2022 is the year you get some ideas of your numbers. Maybe you say, I'm going to reach out to as many from 9 to 11 every Tuesday. I'm going to reach out to some former buyers, okay, and ask for referrals, check on them, see what's going on. Every Tuesday from 9 to 11, I'm going to do that. And then by the end of and mark how many of you talk to. I talked to this one, this one, this one, this one. Then by the end of the year, you'll know, hey, I got 10 referrals and I talked to 50 of my former buyers or whatever they were. I'm just making up numbers. Maybe you only got 2 referrals because you only talked to 10 of them. I don't know. How many of those contacts turn into sales, right? And figure that out. So in 2023, who plans on being on the business in 2023 also? A lot of you guys, everybody, awesome. In 2023, you'll know how many people you need to reach out to, and you're gonna have a bunch more former buyers, former sellers, right? You're gonna have a bunch more former business people to work with. Guys, it's 10 times cheaper to keep these people. So get on that, okay? 10 times cheaper to keep a client than to get a new one, okay, on average. So think about that. Malvis, keep posting away. All of you guys, keep posting away. I want to see a lot of you guys I'm friends with on Facebook and stuff. I want to see this stuff. Daryl does a great job. I always see new condos and stuff. And you know what? I see that stuff from Daryl, and I see personal stuff from Daryl. And what do I think? Daryl's a nice guy, and he's busy being a realtor. Okay? Because I think that because Daryl, I don't know how often you post new listings and new contracts on stuff. Probably once a week or once. I don't know how often it is, but I don't. Daryl is that much of my. When I think about Daryl, that's what I think about. Right? It's not. I don't. I see him that he's busy on there. If he only posted once a month or once a year or something like that, I would think, yeah, Daryl's a part-time realtor. So
that would be me. I post nothing.
Right, but Tammy, you're doing a good job with something because you're doing it. And I know you're a hustler. You work very hard. You could work a little smarter, to be honest.
I know I could. I'm almost embarrassed to post on Facebook. I need to get over that. I don't know what it is.
That was my situation. That was my situation, Tammy, with social media. Because sometimes I'm ashamed to take a picture, how I look, and blah, or just how I got past that. I learned by looking at other realtors' profiles. Some of them don't even put fancy stuff in there either. So I'm like, I don't care. All that I want to tell people is that I am in the real estate business. Whether I look fat, ugly, I don't speak well, I don't care. I'm just putting something out there.
I like what you said, Ryan, because you're just kind of informing people. I almost hate to feel like I'm trying to get business or something. I don't know. But if you're just informing people and not, I don't know what it is.
It's ego and self-esteem, Tammy. You don't want to look like somebody begging for business on there. It's your ego, and sometimes it's your self-esteem. You don't feel like you're worthy of bothering people for their business and
Right.
stuff. There's just two reasons that people don't do that: ego and self-esteem. And guys, you're out there. Do it. You're why are you wasting your time?
I always like to balance it out. I like to do like half personal posts and half business posts.
I love that. That's what I was just saying about you, Daryl. And that's what I recommend to people. Keep putting your stuff on there. Keep, your kids and grandkids and your friends and your vacations and stuff, Daryl. Put all that stuff on there. And then you put the other stuff. Daryl's not salesy on his Facebook, but I see that he's a busy realtor, right? I see he's got awesome listings, right? So that's what I want. That's what Daryl wants me to think, right? That's exactly what you want me to think, right? Daryl's a real guy. He's not salesy. He's never being salesy on there. He didn't just friend me. How many guys have taken a Facebook friend and the first thing they start doing is soliciting you for stuff and you just dump them? I do that. I unfriend immediately if they start soliciting stuff for me. And unless it's a close friend or something, which I would tell him, hey, dude, you're coming off as just a solicitor, right? But if that's what guys, why are you so worried about your self-image? You know what's really embarrassing is having to beg for money or having your cell phone shut off or your power shut off. That's what's embarrassing. So get out there and guys, you do it for a living. Everybody knows what realtors do for a living, roughly. They don't know what we do for a living, but they know what their images we do for a living. They know that we rely on outside business, and ours is a very public business. Same reason you can't be posting that you're a bunch of, you don't want to be posting that you're doing shots at 2:30 a.m. downtown, right?
Exactly.
Because you have a public image that you have to keep up, right? It's why you want to keep your politics to an absolute minimum. By absolute minimum, I say don't do it. Keep them off of there, right? Why? I'm sure some of you have very strong political opinions, but keep them off of Facebook so people, you're running away customers.
You can be neutral. You got to be a neutral person.
You got to be a neutral person, but a professional person and stuff. That's
Yes.
who you are, and that's what you give up to be a realtor. You give that up to be a realtor. If you don't like that, go work 9 to 5 somewhere, which now that's not even safe anymore either for your political opinion. So never mind.
Yeah.
Just keep your political opinions off social media. But seriously, if you don't want to be a public person, then go do something else, right? If you're that shy and that ego driven or that your self-esteem that low, you're not going to be successful in this business. Just go do something else. Okay. You have to get yourself out there. You have to be professional. You have to let everybody know who you are, what you do. People have to trust you and like you to work with you on their financial matters. You guys know that, right? If you have somebody you don't trust or like, are you going to work with them? No, right? Not unless your car is broken down and it's the only mechanic in town, right? Because we don't trust mechanics, nor should we. But that's the kind of guys, they have tons of realtors they can choose from. Why are they going to choose you? And that's a whole different training of why Daryl, why Stella, why Claudia, why Lisa, why me? Why should they choose me when they could work with Tammy or Edul or Daryl or someone else? Why Ryan, right? And that's an answer that you have to have in your mind to give them. But that's a whole nother training. But you guys that needs to be part of your goal setting too. Come up with a why Reshu, why Jika, why should they work with you when they could work with someone else? And the answer, there's good answers for that, but you have to come up with them because it's different for everybody. Whether, and I don't care, I've told you guys this before, I don't care if it's you just got your license yesterday. There's something about you that other people don't have, and you need to be able to exploit that, right? So a lot of you have backgrounds in inspection or backgrounds in appraising or backgrounds in something else. And if you can't think of anything at all, then get in your car. And if you live in Lake Nona, or if you live in Claremont, or you live in Sanford, go around to all the new home builders in your area and find out what they have, find out what they're doing, their specials that they're doing, find out what lots they have available, find out all that stuff, find out when they'll be opening a new subdivision, find out everything. And now you are better at new homes in Sanford than Daryl Hunt. So why would I work with Daryl if I could work with Joseph, who knows every new home in Seminole County, and he can help me. And we don't have to drive around for 3 weekends looking at new homes while they all sell out and I don't get to buy anything, when he could have directed me to the people that have a 4-3 with a conservation lot behind it and a pool that I can get for under $550,000. And he could have sent me there, and I could have gotten 7% back from their lender. Right? I'm just making all that up. But that is something that you can do between now and Friday, or now and next Wednesday, and you can be the expert on new homes in Claremont and Groveland, or in Lake Nona, or wherever it is that you live, or wherever you want to work. Maybe you want to work somewhere. That's fine too. I don't care if you live in Claremont and want to work in Lake Nona. That's what you do. Okay. So there is absolutely no excuse for not being awesome at something. All right. Get on there. And if you live in Lisa, you live in Claremont, right? Get on the MLS and know every house that just came on the market in Claremont. Just get a good feel for it, whatever. Now, when somebody calls you, yes, there's an awesome listing right down there, right? Or whatever it is, get that ready to go. Get that information ready to go, guys. If you're sitting around watching Oprah, you can sit around and do that. I don't even know if Oprah's still on, but you can sit around and do that. All right. So that's what you ought to be doing. Okay. There's always a way to get better. There's always a way to reach your goals. So set some goals between now and next week. Make them SMART. I put it on the email in case you guys forget: specific, measurable, achievement, relevant, and time-based. And then break it down into, and we'll work on that some next week too. Break down your goals into what do I need to do this week, this month, this week, today. Right? And then think about yourself. Be conscious. Set reminders on your phone, and just can be a reminder with a heart, some kind of emoji on it or whatever, that makes you think every time. Maybe it's a brain thinking, whatever makes you think every time. I don't care if it's every hour, every 3 hours. Is what I'm doing working toward my goal? When your phone buzzes, you look at it and you think, is what I'm doing working toward your goal? And I guarantee you, a lot of times you're going to be scrolling on TikTok or Facebook or something, and it's going to hit you. And you're going to say, I need to get up. I need to get up and do something. I need to pick up the phone. I need to do whatever. Right? Some of you look very guilty. I'm glad you have your cameras on today. So do stuff like that, guys. Guys, what are you in this business for? Otherwise, go get a job somewhere where you look at a clock and you get paid. Okay? That's what you guys are in this business for. You wanted to make unlimited money. You didn't want a boss telling you what to do. You wanted freedom of your schedule. You wanted to whatever. This is how you're successful in. Otherwise, you're just going to struggle year after year after year after year. Okay? Most realtors don't make it, guys. Most of you I see on here, a lot of you I see on here have made it several years, so you're doing great. But are you really doing what you want to do? And what are your goals? They're probably greater than what you're doing now. If you're happy with what you've already been doing, you probably wouldn't be on this call. You'd probably be sitting on a beach somewhere. So I appreciate you all coming in. You guys are awesome. Any other questions? Questions on goal setting? Questions on anything else going on at the office? Questions on anything?
Oh, does Emily work out of downtown?
Yes. So Emily, as you see, she has a mask on.
I know I can't
No,
see.
she works out of our headquarters. No, she works out of our headquarters office. She is sitting in the same office as Kayla, who just came back from a forced leave. So that's the mask. But Kayla's fine, and she's back working. So
She's okay.
So that's what Emily's doing. So yeah, she's at our headquarters.
Just the headquarters, right? Just
the headquarters. But yeah, for now, yeah, just the headquarters. There will be a time when she can come meet you guys to help you. But for now, if you want an appointment with Emily, who is perfectly fine, by the way, if you want an appointment with Emily, you can put your mask on and go meet us at the office.
Okay.
And she'll spend some time with you and go through your social media and see what we can do to improve it. If you don't have it set up at all, she'll go through and help you set it up. Okay.
Thanks, Ryan.
You bet, sir. Any other questions or comments?
Actually, I have a question, Ryan. So we just joined, my husband and I just joined Florida Realtors Investments, and I was just wondering if, I have been playing a little bit with the system and everything, but I was just wondering if somebody can walk us through what are really the things that we need to do in order for listing or for a purchase. I mean, what are the DocuSign and all that stuff that we need to use in order, for the system that you guys have established?
Yeah, I can do that. I have some trainings on it on our YouTube channel. I don't know if you looked at our YouTube channel, but I have some trainings on that stuff, but I'll also, I'll help you individually.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Okay.
For now, just whatever you need to know to do what you're doing. I will tell you, most of our people use Transaction Desk or Form Simplicity. Transaction Desk is really easy because you can pop it right into Authentisign, which is, so when you pay part of your absorbent fees, you pay for MLS, gets you Transaction Desk and Authentisign for only $45 a year. It always says $69 and it's always on sale for $45. So you can do Authentisign for $45 a year, which is a very, very, very cheap.
And I like .loop.
I knew how to use that loop. That's what we used where we were before.
Yeah, you can pay .loop yourself and use it. It's $30 a month, which I really like .loop myself.
If you love .loop, so these things for $45 a year, you can take the place of .loop, but it takes an extra couple of clicks when you put your paperwork into Paperless Pipeline. That's the only difference.
Okay, and now for Paperless Pipeline, do we have to pay a yearly fee as well?
No, we pay for that. That's our program.
Okay.
And if you want to.
Yeah. Send the check to a dual if you want to.
Send it to Ryan. There you go.
I was looking at it, and for some reason I thought we had to pay for it. So I wasn't, all these things I am unclear. So that's why.
Nope. You don't have to pay for anything other than your MLS, and if you want to use Authentisign, you have to pay for that. But no, that's it. So yeah, Tammy's absolutely right. You can do .loop if you want to. If you want to spend the $30 a month, if you want to spend $45 a year, you can do the Transaction Desk to Authentisign, and then upload it to our Paperless Pipeline. And either way, even without loop, you got to upload it to Paperless Pipeline.
Sure, absolutely. And Authentisign is just to send to our clients for them to sign, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You just it's connected to your Transaction Desk, so you just pop it right in there.
Okay. Actually, they updated. It looks really nice. It looks like that loop now. Do you see the new version?
I haven't seen it, but I heard that it was coming, and I have always liked Authentisign for the price.
Me too. I've been using
it. It's not clunky or anything. It just didn't look as great to the
they upgraded it. Actually, starting this month, they're gonna move to the new ones. You can't use the old one, the classic anymore. So they actually have color code now. So like before you have buyers, sellers, it was the same thing. Now they have color code for them. It's really nice.
Is it still going to be on sale for $45?
I mean, it's like,
it has been since the beginning of time.
I don't know,
Special
probably
sale.
$50, but it's cheaper than some of the other ones.
I mean, $45 a year is a great sign, a great price. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Assuming they still keep it on there with their new fancy one, I assume that is. And our transaction fee here is $1,000, but it's on sale for $350 or $175 for you guys. So. Let all your friends know our transaction fees on sale. All right, guys.
Ryan, I do have a quick question. I work on commercial investments, and right now we have about 200 investment homes in the Central Florida area. Is there a way to market internally to the agents of the company?
Okay,
because these are not listed on the MLS.
Okay, they're not listed on the MLS?
No, and they cannot be listed on the MLS.
No, absolutely. Share it with me and I'll share it with the agents.
Okay, all right. I'll send you that.
All right, be happy to do that. Would you guys like to know about 200 off-market properties?
Yes.
Are they rentals or are they purchase?
Commercial.
No, they're for bank foreclosures.
Bank foreclosures.
Yes,
we have a lot of excited people here for that.
Okay, perfect. I'll send you a list.
I perked up my ears like real quick. Yes, send it.
All right. So you guys send me $100 and I will send you the list. And just kidding, Claudia. We'll get it out to them. All right.
Thank you.
So awesome. Well, we'll do that. Thank you very much. Well, on that note, we're ending this meeting. I'm excited. So we'll see you guys next week. Please put your goals together. I'm sorry, let me go through some of this stuff real quick for you guys. You guys can check out if you want, if you didn't ask a question. Is there commercial training? Yes, Jackie, I do one a year. I do one on commercial and I do one on investment properties. I would love for you to be there. I will let you know when it's coming. I'll be doing one shortly on commercial. I may have missed, is there contact for Prime Street? Yes, email me, Jackie, email me for the contact for Prime Street. I've got to set you up with them. This report is good, info to share on Facebook. Lisa, you wrote that to me directly. I don't know if you want me sharing that with everybody, but list reports, I'm sharing it with everybody. List reports is good info to share on Facebook if you guys want some content. Cloudy, be proud of who you are and what you do. We're all selling all the time. Somebody like that, but they're selling themselves. Absolutely. Jackie, you private messaged me about something. Put that in your email also, please. I just asked my clients for review. Okay, great guys. Natalie, Lisa asked you a question in the chat. You got it. All right, guys. Yes, we'll be sending that out to, I'll be sending that out to everyone when Claudia gets that to me. All right. I've got people direct messaging me. Don't forget me. It'll be everybody. All right. Thank you guys. Great to see you all. Happy New Year to you all. We'll see you next week. Goals, goals, goals. If you don't have them, you won't hit them. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, once you have them, you won't hit them. So goals, let's hit them. You guys ever hit a goal? Doesn't that feel great? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. See you guys next week. Take care.